Hey Bellas, it's Amanda here. And I just wanted to do a quick new little intro. So, just to give you guys a heads up, because I know I haven't released an episode in a couple of weeks, and you guys are probably wondering, like, where's the show? Where's the pod? But I've been working behind the scenes the last couple of weeks, really tightening up my plan for the podcast and for just Bella Talks TV's future in general. So I'm just here to kind of give you a little lay of the land before we jump into today's episode. So if it's your first time here, then you can expect me to now be releasing 2 episodes per week. One episode is going to be a Bravo only breakdown where I will have a guest and we will just be discussing Bravo topics. And then I will still be releasing my original Bella Talks TV, the weekly countdown of reality TV's most talked about moments, my solo episodes. So you can now expect those episodes to be coming out twice a week, and you'll have a little bit of variety. You can hear me, if you like my solo episodes, I still will have those up. And if you want to hear me with a guest and talk about Bravo, you're going to have that option now too. So lots of exciting things going on. And let's just get into today's episode. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bella Talks TV. It's Amanda Bella here, and I'm joined with the one and only Bravo investigator, Dana, who we've just become such fast friends since we met at BravoCon. We've always been talking online, and I'm using her kind of just selfishly to kick off a new episode every week that I'm going to be releasing, a Bella Bravo breakdown. Say that 3 times fast. And this is just going to be a perfect way to kick it off. So welcome, Dana, to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking to you, Bravo, whatever it is in life. So always happy to be chatting with you.
We really align on so many of our Bravo opinions, but one thing I do appreciate about like my real OG Bravo podcasting friends is that we are able to talk about things that we don't necessarily agree with. It's like always respectful. It's a lot different than having comments from like the trolls on our pages, for lack of a better word, where it's just, there's just like a mutual respect and you're able to have these kind of like deeper conversations about things that don't feel like you're going to war with people. So that's why I really wanted to start this segment. Like, Bravo is a very passionate topic for a lot of us. And it could really have its own, that's why it's the Bravo sphere. It's like its own planet. So I found myself every week being like, okay, I'm talking about so much Bravo stuff. I really need to spin it off. And then I can talk about, because I know you watch everything too. So we're watching Married at First Sight. We're watching Love is Blind. We're into all of the other shows. So
excited for that to come back.
Oh my gosh, I'm counting on the days. Like every time I'm like, do I really need my Netflix subscription? They always are like 5 days later, they're like, oh, we're dropping a new season of Love is Blind, which will keep me paying $100 till the day I die. So
yeah.
They got me.
Right.
But we're here to really kick it off with the Bravo stuff tonight. And something that I'm so excited for, I can't believe it actually. I don't know I think January went by really fast for me. I don't know if for you feel that way. Like usually January crawls, but all of a sudden it was February and it was Summer House premiere day. Just woke up and here we are. So I can't believe it's here. Last year, it was on Thursday nights, and it was like a 9:00 Thursday night, and that was really tough. I know that we're both not in our 20s anymore, and being out at 9:00 on a Thursday night is something that I don't.
I'm in bed by 9:00 on a Thursday night. But it wasn't appointment television last year. I don't feel like there's some shows where we had to watch it when it was on, like season 11 of Vanderpump Rules, or even this season of Summer House. I feel like I feel like people are really excited about it, and for that reason, it's going to become like really important. Is it on at 8 or is it on at 9? Do you know?
That's a great question, actually.
I hope it's on at 8.
I think it is 8.
Because exactly. Shoot. And we're always warning Bravo. Most of us women are in our 40s. Okay. We're tired.
They need to be taking care of us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, it says PM Eastern.
Nice.
We win.
Okay, good.
This is a small win for all of us, millennials all over America right now.
Exactly.
And I do think that's going to help bring a lot of new eyes. It's season 10, which is insane.
The inaugural season 10.
What is going on? Yeah, right. What is going on with the 2016 trend? Like there is something with 10 years ago, looking back, like it was truly the best year ever. I was so excited even just listening. So I listened to the Summer House. They called it the Sirius XM. It's like Table Talk or something, or Town House or
Red
Town
Table
Session
Talk.
or whatever. They had a very like formal name for it. And I see one thing that I always think is so interesting too is Dorinda and Kiki Monique's just their relationship. They kind of fight like sisters on the show sometimes, which is I enjoy
So
their banter.
I haven't actually okay, I feel like an idiot. I can't figure out how to listen to that show.
No, it's okay. Are you a serious listener?
Well, I guess not because I've tried to listen to it and then so it leads me to the app and then I go to the app and it's like I can't find it and then I have to pay. I'm just very confused.
No, it's a
So,
lot.
if
It's
you
like
can
the
direct
biggest
me to
paywall.
how to
It's a paywall that is unavoidable. Like you cannot listen. Like they put only,
it's
I'm
not a
pretty
free
sure,
podcast.
no, it's not a free
Okay.
podcast, unfortunately. It's only for Sirius XM subscribers. And the only reason I have it is because my husband's obsessed with Howard Stern. So like we have a
Oh,
lifetime
so you're set.
subscription.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I know how to use that app or like have any idea how to have a membership to it. But because of that, I then now listen to some Radio Andy segments. And then there's like the Jeff Lewis segments, which I'll talk about a little bit later too. And I just think that the whole thing is very interesting. So I wanted to find the clips because there were some circulating things that was coming out about the Summer House cast getting together ahead of this season 10 premiere. And it just seemed like everybody was in a good place, but
Yeah.
Sirius just has like their foot on the neck of it. Like they could only release like 2-minute clips. And it was like a 46-minute interview. So I'm like, oh,
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff that we don't know that's coming out. My curiosity got the best of me. And so I'm going to run through some of the notes that came out from the show because it did give me a good idea of what we can expect from the season. So I'm actually more excited now for it.
So what did you take away from it that you felt like we can see this season? Like what are the highlights?
So the first thing that happens when it starts is Lindsay, unprovoked, just wishes Carl happy birthday. And it brought a tear to my eye because we saw the fodder online of people being like, Carl and Lindsay, and she was giving him the mail for his birthday. And it was like this little moment. And I have been somebody that like rides so hard for Carl, like a little sick. I'm like, a
Wait, have
Carlito
you been to
stan.
Soft Bar?
I haven't been there. They were actually doing a premiere party tonight and I wanted to go
Yeah.
so bad. But you know what? There was something about being home at 8 o'clock. Like you can't, I just wanted to watch the premiere in
Yeah.
silence. Like when you're at the
In
watch
your own
parties, they are
environment.
so fun, but like I would have been so distracted trying to like see who's there, like what's going on, trying to hear like overhear, Carl talking about it in the corner. Like
Right.
I just couldn't do that to myself. And let me just watch it like as a fan because that's really who I am. Like at the end of the day, I love to podcast, but I'm just a fan
Just
of
a
these
fan.
people and this show. Like this is my favorite show on Bravo. I'm such a
It
stan.
really is. It is the best one. But that being said, I feel like we didn't hear much come out of last summer at all. Like nothing. There was no rumors, no nothing. We didn't really see pictures. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It could be bad. It
Yeah,
could mean it's a really boring season.
exactly. It seems like it's going to be a very reminiscent season on just the OGs. They kind of start with a flashback to, some of this, how the series got started, some memories. Like it really brought a tear to my eye. I'm so parasocial with them. And so I was really happy to see Lindsay and Carl making up. Like that really gave me hope for this summer because I didn't enjoy the last couple of seasons because I felt like a child of divorce watching them. And it just like gave me
Well, what are you gonna feel
anxiety.
now with Amanda and Kyle?
Well, that I don't feel as sad about, but
Okay.
well, I'll get to that. But so I'm really happy about the place of Carl and Lindsay. It's just making me feel like lighter going into this season. It seems like they have a little bit more fun. And then right away from after that kind of like warm beginning, Dorinda goes into this interview and she's like, let's rip the Band-Aid, Kyle and Amanda. Like, we got to talk about it. And I found it interesting that Amanda's kind of response in the beginning was like, oh, yeah, like, haha. Like, she kind of laughs a little bit and is like, we're going to talk about it, And she's like, oh, do we have to? Like, I found her response a little bit like I see that she's poking fun and she's kind of trying to like LOL about it. But there is something about how amicable they're being, the way that they're able to like laugh about it. Like it seems
Can I say
it seems
something for
like,
the
yes,
class?
please tell me what's going on because
It's
I don't get
it's
it.
too early. It's way too early. We've all been there. We've all been there 1 or 2 weeks into a breakup with somebody where we're still trying to be friends and we're still banging a little bit and we're still saying that we won't bang, but then at 11 p.m. you're like, "I miss you." We've all done that. A couple months down the road, we are no longer going to be friends. There's gonna be something financial. Somebody's gonna be dating. Can you look at how freaking upset Kyle Cook got over Craig going to Sprit Society? Can you imagine how he's going to react when he sees Amanda Batula dating? Boom.
Yep.
He's gonna lose his fucking shit. He's gonna go on and watch What Happens Live. He's gonna spew all this nonsense. He's gonna be like, "Meh," you know, it's gonna be craziness. So for now, 5 minutes in, sure, but this has barely begun. Let's be real. Craig and Paige, were they not amicable for a day? Sure. Give us a couple more days. It's been a minute.
No, you are so right about that. That is a good way to look at it. There's something fishy about it, and I haven't of course we're going to have to wait and watch the season, I guess, to really find out why they're both so okay with it and how it's not a little bit more devastating to them.
Can I give you another theory? I mean, when my grandfather died, he was in hospice for a really long time. Thank you. I'm Jewish, but still thank you.
No, I was like,
He was in hospice for a really long time. And so when he actually ended up dying, it was, even though him and my grandmother were together for like 50 years or something crazy, she was okay with it because she had started getting used to not spending time with him. And look at all of the time they're spending apart, which is the point, right? So they're kind of just realizing, hey, this is really no different than us not being together. We're just legally married, but we're barely seeing each other. So I think it's one of those things. And they say it about women, and I'm sure the same may be true of men, that when you leave a relationship, you're actually checked out for like at least a few months prior, right? So it wasn't, nothing happened that day whenever they press send and made that Instagram story. Nothing happened that day. This has been coming.
Yes, that is very true. It's not like this happened overnight.
Right,
The
exactly.
one thing the Bravo fans have been saying is that we've been seeing this happen for literally 10 years. And so how could anybody really be shocked? So I guess that does make sense. One thing I found in this interview kind of interesting was Dorinda asked Kyle and Amanda how they met. She was like, how did you guys ever meet? And, I thought I knew the story because, again, like I've stalked these people for so long now that I was like, I know how they met. But I was a little bit
Story?
off
Okay,
actually
you tell me
on
the
this
story and I'll make sure
story.
it's the same story. Okay.
I'm like, okay, so it kind of made me feel a little bit, I don't know how I felt about it. So Kyle describes that they actually dated for 9 months before the show was picked up. And I knew that they knew each other and had dated before. I wasn't aware that it was like 9 months worth. So
Okay,
that is
you
a long
obviously did
time.
not listen to my Be True Hollywood story, and I'm really annoyed.
No, I feel like
Really
I honestly feel like I did, but maybe I just didn't. Maybe I downplayed it in my mind because
okay.
I knew they dated, but I wasn't aware it was like for so long. So then I'm like,
Okay.
okay. And then Kyle says, well, I knew the show got picked up and I had seen guys on The Real World, how they got casted and they had girlfriends, but they would go on the show and act single. And then they would have to come back and the girlfriends would see and they would have this big mess afterwards. He's like, I didn't want to be one of those dicks from The Real World. So I was really open with Amanda and I told her that, hey, I'm going to be filming this show. Like, I don't want to be cheating on you. So let's just
So we're
break
gonna have to
up.
break up because I am gonna be sleeping with people.
Yeah, it was very honest and very open from literally day one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so he really was telling her, like, I'm not ready. Like, how much more can someone tell you? Like, I'm not ready.
No, he
And
was
Amanda said,
honest.
okay, fine. Like, I'm going to go to the Jersey Shore for the summer with my friends. You go to the Hamptons. And if it's meant to be after filming, like, we'll find our way back to each other. And so that was their plan. And then all of a sudden, Kyle says, but then a few days later, Amanda calls me and is like, well, my plans are canceled in the Jersey Shore now. Me and my friends are coming to the Hamptons now. And I'm like, okay, did she like Brittany Cartwright this whole situation? Because to me, I felt like Brittany knew Jax and like kind of went out and then like pretending like she didn't know him, like not to, put them in together. But I'm like, okay, did Amanda actually chase this a little bit more, insert herself a little bit more? Or am I just.
No on that because like that's a lot of work to get a lot of girls to get to go to a share house and pay for it so that you can hook up with this guy. Also, he was the one calling her every 4 a.m. He was contacting her and she was
This is
like
true.
she'd go, right? But then she'd be like, you need to stop fucking with my head. And he's the one that kept calling. She was never calling him. So think about that.
Okay. I'm gonna
But,
I'm
but we'll
gonna
keep it in the back of our minds.
Yeah, it's just to me, it was just not as like symbiotic or simpatico that it was like, wait, there was a little bit more behind it, I guess, than I
Mhm.
realized. And that's okay. Like, go girl. Like if she knew what she wanted, she knew Kyle. And then also like all just playing devil's advocate, like if I were to call my friends and say, hey guys, instead of going to Jersey Shore, we could literally be being filmed in the Hamptons with the hot guys and the partying all summer. Like, let's try to go beyond this show. I'm pretty sure me and all my friends would go to the Hamptons instead too. So, I mean, I'm sure Amanda didn't have to twist her friend's arms or anything to like go there. And
I don't
Amanda
feel like
maybe
we
was
saw
just
them, did we? Did
No,
we
we
see her
didn't, we
other
didn't,
friend?
but
Okay.
Amanda did, it worked for her. She was the link, like, she was the Kyle link, and, to me, I'm just like, wow, I think she had a little bit more of the want to be on TV is really the point that I'm making, like, it wasn't
Really?
like
See, I never thought
Amanda.
that because even now I'm sitting here being like, why is everyone acting like one of them can stay on Summer House and one of them can stay on In the City? Why can't she go back to being a graphic designer? Because I forget what podcast she was doing. She doesn't do many, but it was with a friend of hers. I think it was last year, and it was more about mental health. But she was saying, like, this is no, I've never been interested in this. This is never what I wanted, or it was not skinny or not fat, something like that. But she was just like,
Okay.
I know that nobody ever goes back, but Summer House is the one show where you all do have degrees, right? You all are educated people. So it's not like when Lindsay would act all like, what are we gonna do? And it's like, I don't know, use your PR degree, right? Like I'm sure like it'll be fine. Like you guys will be okay. So I don't know what she actually wants to do with her life. I don't know if she's really thought of it beyond this, but like she doesn't have to stay in this sphere if she doesn't want to. But I guess everybody does.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because we know it's gonna spin off into In the City, and we
Right.
know Amanda's gonna film, and it's gonna follow her.
But do
If
you
she
think that
wanted
show
to
is dead in
escape
the
the
water?
show, do we think it's done?
Because the concept was to now watch those people go off and do adulting things and like, okay, Kyle and Amanda have split. So now we're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch because they don't have kids together. So it's not like they need to be around each other like Jesse and Michelle. So are we gonna watch and there's something to be said about like a couple that breaks up and never sees each other again. It is not normal or natural for them to continue to have to hang out all the time, right? And I also think that like if they're not together, then it's just really Lindsay. And then what are we watching? Like the concept made sense, but it made sense with Kyle and Amanda as its anchor. And without its anchor couple, do we have Summer House or do we have In the City? Do we have either? You know? It's
I
interesting to think
cannot wait
about.
for this trailer to drop. Like, I'm gonna be texting you. Like, I'm so curious too of what it's gonna look like because a little bit more in this interview, they kind of get into that too. Lindsay discusses, Gemma being 6 months old during the time of them filming last summer. And they ask her, do we see Gemma on screen in the summer house? And the entire cast, I think Amanda was the loudest, where she was like, you can't bring a baby to the summer house. And everybody's laughing. Dorinda makes a joke. I would call CPS if I saw Lindsay bring that baby into the summer house. And everyone's
It's not
laughing.
that
It's
bad.
like
We're talking
this funny video. It's like this funny clip. And I was like, wait, what's going on here? Because I literally said that exact same thing last year. And every mom in America came for me being like, of course, Lindsay can still be a mom in the summer house. Gemma can be there every weekend. Lindsay can do whatever she wants. And then all of a sudden, Lindsay herself is like, oh, hell no, I would never do that. So, like, I obviously think, like, I just feel a little vindicated. I wanted just to bring that up, maybe just to vindicate myself a little bit because I thought
absolutely.
that was just a weird thing. And that's not a clip that circulated because, again, it's this weird, serious interview that, like, only 2 minutes of the thing were clipped. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. So now the whole attitude has changed. But then Lindsay says, but you will see her I did film with Gemma, but not for Summer House. And so I'm like, okay, is this a plot line for the In the City show? Are we going to be seeing her a little bit more in that home thing? It's going to be Kyle and Amanda's divorce, Lindsay being with
Can't
Gemma. And then I
imagine she
think
gets to show the
Andrea.
baby. Isn't that exactly why they broke up? But it could be, I mean, there was a period of time where Kanye would not let Kim show the kids, but like you would see like a mop of hair, like right here.
I'm
Because there'd
assuming
be
it's going
in her
to be
lap or
blurred.
something,
I think it's going to be a
or
back
blurring
of
her
the head.
face, or yeah.
Yep. I think that we are going to see her. I think that they did film.
How can we not? Like, how can we not have Lindsay as a mother if we're gonna watch her in the city? What are we watching her doing?
Yes, like I was very curious and I was very hard on like the future of Lindsay Hubbard because like you said, like I'm like, go back to doing PR. Like, wasn't that your whole thing? Like, why do you need to stay on the show and be a single mom and not have your relationship work out because you stopped refusing to film? Like, I was like, you're self-sabotaging. You could be having like this great life off camera, it seemed, but
She
she
loves it
chose.
though. She said
Yes,
it, that
yes.
this is
And
that
that's
she
what
would
you just,
choose this over the guy if she hadn't gotten pregnant,
yes. And that's like
whatever
that.
his name was.
Yeah. Turner, I think Turner, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. And,
May he
it's
rest
just,
in peace.
it was good to like hear her be that authentic about it and have her just that's why I really disliked last season because she was trying to pretend like she enjoyed it. She was calling him in the corner like, "Hey babe, it's okay that you're not here," and like pretending that she was
Yeah,
okay with him. And I'm like,
yeah.
so fake. Like, I had a hard time watching it, but it seems like we're going to
But
get
at the same
more
time, we
honest
got so
Lindsay.
little of that relationship that, like, and we're not used to that. We're used to seeing it. So I'm like, I guess the relationship is perfect because that's all we hear. And we don't see anything otherwise.
Yep.
But
I'll
it's
never
that's so
forget.
weird, right? We're not used to that.
I thought that was so strange. And like, I feel like I can finally like her again. Like, I'm just like, yes, Lindsay, like you're back to being your authentic self. You're not fighting with Carl anymore. Like, yay, I love Lindsay Hubbard again. Like, people would roll over right now to hear me say that.
Is there any world where you think Carl and Lindsay and the baby become a family?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've thought
Crazier things have
potentially
happened, right?
crazier things have happened. And circling back to Kyle and Amanda, I actually think there's a chance they're gonna end up back together.
It's possible.
I know that sounds crazy.
No, it's given. I mean, you and I recorded on my podcast, and you said sort of the same thing. Like, it's been 10 years, get a divorce. I think the only reason they haven't is laziness. And I think that I don't think they'll ever actually get divorced until it comes time for them to marry other people because of the laziness factor and the like financial chutzpah of like trying to like deal with all of that. But like, I think,
Like, do
no,
you think
I
there's a
think
chance? Like,
Amanda's
what
going to move
percent
on and meet a
chance?
nice guy from New Jersey.
I know, because I don't think she wants that. That's like the point I'm making. I think she likes this a little bit more than she leads on.
You do?
I think to leave this Bravo, this is a cult. When you get out of
You
this,
think she
when you
loves
leave,
this? I
I
don't
think she
know.
loves it.
But
I
I'm
think she
always
likes
convinced
being
of
a
that, but
Bravo
I
lover.
live in the real world and I'm like a regular person and I always forget that people like want this and it's like so important. And Jackie Goldschneider is such a like shining example of that. It's
Yes.
so bizarre. This woman has 4 children. This woman is a lawyer. She is a writer. She's so brilliant and all she cares about is this. And it's so sad to me.
I think it probably even comes off like a bad rap. Like, it's not a fame hunger, but there is a level, like Amanda, for the amount of people out there that give her a hard time, she has 9,000 billion more supporters. She gets people all day online talking about how great she is, how hot she is, how amazing she is, how she's going to do so great without Kyle. Like, without all of that, that would be a quiet world. So I don't know. To leave it is one thing. I'm just curious about it. She says one part of this interview that she says is that she's now living in her new apartment and the smoke alarms go off. And she called Kyle. And Kyle's making this joke like she still calls you when she needs things. Like
We hear that all the
she's,
time when people get divorced. It's like the first thing they
yes,
do. I don't know how to turn this off in the backyard. Call the husband. It's
yes.
so
She was,
classic.
and I thought it was too funny also that she self-admitted. She goes, I was high. She goes, I was really high too. And I called him. And there was just something about that too that made me think like Amanda, I think I see some of myself in her too. And that's why when we're being like a mirror of ourselves a little bit, like we get a little triggered. And there was one scene that I'll never forget of Kyle and Amanda living in their apartment. And she's got Housewives on in the background. I don't know if you remember this episode. And he's trying to talk to her about something. And he gets so amped up that she finally has to like pause the show
Mhm.
because he's like, just listen to me like you're just sitting there watching Housewives. And I'm like, that's literally my husband and me. Like sometimes I'm like, pause your fucking show. Like, listen to
Yeah.
me. I'm trying to tell you
I'm
something.
trying to watch my stories.
And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And so there was just something funny, but I'm just thinking about Amanda like being in peace, smoking a joint or whatever the way that she takes an edible or whatever, and like just living in her little like peace bubble there. I don't know. I have a feeling like she just needs some space, and that maybe if she's there and she's still calling him and like, I don't know. I'm just making a prediction that I actually think that they're either going to Kyle and mow it and never get divorced, or they might end up back together at some point.
I think it's possible, but I think it really does come down to one thing after I did my deep dive where she cannot trust him. Because when he goes out, this is when he cheats on her, right? It has happened before because if what he said is true, where when he cheated on her, he does not remember it because he was so blacked out, a la Tom Schwartz, then she can never trust him to go out, especially when he's not answering the phone, especially when he's not coming home until 6:30 in the morning. Because if you're doing this unknowingly, but then you're constantly putting yourself in those situations, round and round we go. I can never trust you. And it's not your fault. It's the situation that you're putting yourself in, right? Because you may black out and you may make out with someone. And I have to deal with this night after night after night until I'm 100 years old. And it's all he's done
Yeah.
now is create a job where he can put himself in that situation even more.
Yes,
So
that's a
it's
big
so
point from
simple
the
to me.
trailer. Yeah, that line in the trailer is a big hit, right? Like when everyone's talking about him staying out until at a fan's house and all this stuff. And there's actually a part in the trailer where they're sitting on the beach and Kyle says, like, what about chemistry? What about intimacy? What about
all of these other things. Like, it's not just the fact that I'm a DJ, Amanda. Like, it's look at all of these other things in our relationship that are
But it
off.
stems from that. It stems from, like, you're not gonna have intimacy because I'm mad at you because you're never home. Like, it's like what Ariana used to say about Tom, right? It's like, "We don't have that closeness, or we don't have sex. How can I have sex when you're not here?" You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yes, you're right. It's like the chicken and the egg. Like, really, what came first? Like, the intimacy caused the cheating, caused the intimacy problems, caused the cheating, and they've been on that hamster wheel. So
yeah, they have.
I would like to see them get off. I mean, clearly it is fucking thrilling to me. I can never, it is the will they, won't they of our lifetime. And now that we seem like we're getting somewhere where we might see a light at the end of the tunnel, it is going to be really interesting. Like, I cannot wait to see. I did not watch they put the little teasers out. Like, to me, I call those spoilers. I don't want to
Yeah,
know.
I didn't watch those either because I really want to immerse myself in the episode. So I've seen the one little clip where, like, Sierra and Amanda are in bed and she's just basically saying she's numb to it all now. And so he's DJing, but sorry, I guess I did watch like a minute. But he has a friend who goes out, does the DJ thing, is married, has a kid, but he comes home right after. And Amanda's like, well, the difference is Kyle doesn't do that. He hangs out with the owners and then hangs out with the fans and does all these other things. And then she's like, I'm numb to it now. So I'm curious what changes between going numb to it to, like, I cannot do this anymore.
Yes, there's got to be some camel in there that breaks Amanda's back. And we'll see. I mean, Dorinda was laughing with her. She was like, I'm going to take you to freeze your eggs. Like, they were having some cute little moments. I found it interesting too with Sierra this season. I've been pretty critical of Sierra in the past. I just felt like she was a lackey of Paige's. And I'm so excited to see her shine as her own person this season. She seems like she really comes out of her shell. Like, I'm already starting to like her more. And the season hasn't started yet. Like, just the changes in her personality. And, I know that I'm really on an island on myself. And I did not like Paige in the summer house. I felt like she was toxic, but that's just me. And I'm really excited to see the girls like get to spread their wings this season. It seems like Carl brings up right away. He's like, Sierra was so fun this summer. He seems like
That's so great.
he shoots his shot with her every summer,
I
but
know.
it just seems like she's so happy. And I'm really excited to see her just being herself a little bit more. One funny thing too that I thought that they brought up. So Sierra is asked from Dorinda, like, who should be on Traitors next. And Sierra reminds everybody that Lindsay was actually originally cast and then got pregnant and couldn't go. But they want Lindsay to come back on. I agree. I came around. I want Lindsay in the castle. Do we want
Do
her
you
there?
remember why Lindsay didn't go? It was because of Dorinda.
Yes.
And she was very upset about that, but they've been hanging out like crazy. So they must have worked it out. But I wish we could have been there for that conversation because last I heard, you were both mad at each other. So yeah, I guess I got over it. But I just would have liked to know what happened.
No, you're so right. They talk about like, what footage do you want? Like Victoria at Brooklyn's wedding, the Morocco footage, the Meredith Plain footage. I'm like, show me the footage of Lindsay and Dorinda making up.
Yeah.
Because I was really invested in
Show me
that.
the tapes.
I was like really thinking, like,
But no, Lindsay would be amazing on Traitors. That'd be really good.
yeah. And I think like it seems
And
so
Rachel Lindsay.
obvious that she would be a traitor.
Yeah.
But like, I
But
think
that's
she
what I
has to
felt
be a
about Lisa
traitor.
Rinna. And I was just like, how come no one else feels this way until episode 7? Like, what?
Yep.
To me, it's just like obvious. Obvious.
Yes, it's so obvious to us.
That's who she is
That's
as
why
a
we're
person.
scholars.
Yeah.
And I really love one thing I thought about with that is that the people that go to the castle, they have no idea who's going to be there.
Okay, I forgot about that because I was like, why didn't anyone do their research? What the hell's wrong with these people? Because I remember, I think it was on the File Files. He had one of those gamers on from a couple years back, one of the scary ones. I don't remember one of those guys. And he was saying I had gotten like, I guess a tip or like a list of people who may be on. And so he thought Nick Vile was going to be on. So he had tried to do some research about him. So I guess not though, because yeah, I remember Maura now being surprised when she saw Rob.
I just forgot kind of that whole layer of it. And so if you've never watched Housewives, truly, and I do believe some of the gamers, I mean, this season is it's very like Bravo-y, like even the gamers and even the Olympic, like everyone that's on there feels like they're a Bravo celebrity this season.
Yeah.
Previous seasons had more randomness to it and more like people that you
Right, there
don't
was
know
that
anything
one
about.
royal guy who ended up winning, right? Like Lord
Yes.
Iver.
I mean, I know justice
So
for Lord
random.
Iver. Like everyone talks about Dylan Efron and Lord Iver's
There's
just
always a
in the dust.
random.
I freaking love Traitors. It's so good this
So good.
season. It's
So
so
good.
good.
And
But yeah, I
I'm
really
glad they're not like oversaturating it or doing anything different with it. It's exactly perfect as is. You know, like even with like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, we're doing like it constantly, right? Is it too much? And now we're just filming press because they're constantly filming. So now we're just filming them doing press. But the way they've just done the Traitors, not yeah, they haven't oversaturated it with us doing it like every 3 months or anything crazy, right? It's just perfect the way it is.
it's
Just
so
the
good.
way you want.
Yes. Never change. Hashtag never change. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up that interview on Summer House and just kind of giving some behind the scenes little moments of just where everyone kind of stands with each other. I mean, there's the Sierra and West of it all swirling a little bit. I do
I kind of already know
not
that's like a
know what I
nothing.
think of that. Yeah, I think that she is single. I'm not getting the idea that her and West are together. I think that they're both single.
Did you see her at the Grammys?
Of course, and I'm like, I mean, I really
I'm
I
straight,
always
but
thought she
Jesus
was
Christ.
hot. No, like, I've always thought she was so hot, and that's why I would get
Everything
so
all
mad because
slicked
I'm like,
back is
"Girl."
what made her so sexy. Like,
Yes.
she just at the side boob, my god,
No, she's
insane.
one of the most gorgeous women, if not the most gorgeous woman on this network. Like, she is so hot. I'm so happy she's happier and that she's gonna have her, big pharma summer, as her and Amanda call it. Like, they're both on their Prozac and they're like, "Big pharma, call us."
But I will say, like, it was very weird that, like, we didn't really get her storyline about the whole thing with her mom until the reunion. Sorry, I don't wanna call it a storyline. This thing going on in her life. I don't know whose fault that is. I don't know if it's her producers, but like, and we said the same thing about Gabby sometimes where we're just like, she's doing things. It seems like she's going on all these dates and doing all these cool things. So like give us the story. So I don't necessarily even want to blame Sierra for it because she clearly had a very interesting story that for some reason we were getting beginning, middle, and end to at the reunion. Put it in the show. Whoever's responsible for that. And then I'm happy to hear it. But I feel like I haven't really gotten to know Sierra, to be honest with you. I feel like we got that little bit at the beginning when she first came in and was talking about her relationship with her dad, and then we get this little bit 5 years later, but we really don't know her, and that's not my fault.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's not our
It's their
fault.
fault.
She's gotten like a very specific edit. And even going back to her relationship with Austin, which will be a great way for us to
Yeah.
segue
My
into
god.
Southern Charm a little bit. Oh my gosh. Like, what a
I
mess
forgot
that's
about that
going
for a
on over
second.
there. Oh my God.
Talking about cycling through Bravo Labs.
I mean, there's a lot going on down in the Southern Charm
Down south?
cast. Like, what a time to be alive when there were all these like crossovers and all these
Ugh,
relationships. And like, really, the
love it.
Craig and Paige era of Bravo was like a fever dream.
Right.
And I loved even Austin and Lindsay flirting. And like, there's just been
Wait,
so
they had
much.
sex too, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
So
all of these
gross.
people are like, I mean, and then Gigi admitting that she slept with Shep, and then Shep, I'm like, so Gigi and Sally have, there's a
And
lot
Gigi
of,
and Jax. Yeah, it's a lot.
it goes on forever. And I kind of love that about being in this like Bravo sphere of it's
I know.
again, what makes me so parasocial with all these relationships and stuff, like just thinking about the inner workings and what goes on behind the scenes between everybody. Ugh, it's so dang good. I don't know how they built this. Like how the heck did like the mind of Andy Cohen just so freaking good. But yeah, so let's talk about Southern Charm. I mean, we're already kind of on there. The main there's not a ton going on this season, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I don't like there to be 9,000 storylines where we never get like closure on a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And, I'm more of into like just having some main points and kind of like that just it not being so, I don't know, like all over the place. I like to focus and like get into the nitty gritty of stuff and really get down and dirty in it. And this season with Craig and Austin being truly the main, like their heated rivalry
I
is
know, everybody's calling it that.
taking over. Like, where do you stand? Are you picking sides? Do you think they're both idiots like I do?
I have really tried to understand what's going on here. I will say that on both ends, I think that the resentment is built up so high that they're incapable of saying anything to each other more than pass the salt without beating each other to a bloody pulp because they just have built up that resentment. I really think they should go to therapy. I just don't even know if this is resolvable at this point because they really seem to hate each other. And people go on and on about how long they've been friends. It's not that long. I do just want to point out because I don't think he wasn't an OG. And when he came on the show, I think he came on as Shep's friend, if I'm not mistaken, in like season 4. I'm not saying that they haven't been friends a long time, and they do have businesses together. Obviously, they're not doing the podcast, but they're both like investors. And like, by the way, I think Craig really hates Austin. And I think what else? There was something there he said at the end that was really awful. Oh yeah, those little things that he was doing where he was trying to like get Audrey to turn against him, like bringing up that rumor that was pretty screwed up. He's really doing malicious things now, and even just the Audrey of it all, which seems to upset Craig so much that he's treating Audrey this way. It really has nothing to do with you, but he's making it about that because he's making it like that's what Paige did to me, and like you're projecting, you know. So I guess I'm more Team
Yes.
Austin.
Yes, I
Sorry.
do agree with that. No, I totally agree that Craig is projecting the Paige breakup issues. He's getting triggered that he sees Austin stringing Audrey along, and Craig feels like he was stringed along, and the whole "I'll marry you one day."
Right.
And I think that he is forcing him to, and it's not Craig's place. I do agree, it's not Craig's place. But what he's saying is not wrong. Austin is treating Audrey like shit.
No, that's not wrong. Oh, wait, but what do you think about the whole part about whether he was manipulating Austin with the drink? Because that whole thing, I don't know if manipulation is necessarily the right word, but I'm sorry, you did use the word addict on TV, and now you're just drinking again, and you're like, what? I broke up with my girlfriend, so now I'm going to the bar and hanging out with pretty girls and drinking. What's the problem? You said you were an addict. Like, what are you talking about? So
Yes.
I think, but that has nothing to do with Austin either, technically.
Yes, they are both projecting for sure.
Yeah.
They both are
So complex.
being yes, like they're both being mirrors to each other a little bit and like just triggering each other, which does happen in our
Yeah.
best friendships. It is kind of part of having these friendships that go beyond like that acquaintance cast member. Like they're in deep, like Shep said, like they kind of choked me up a little bit on the after show. He's like, we've been all over the world with each other. We have memories and off camera things that we have done. Like they're real friends. They are not show friends. And that's why it translates so differently and why we don't see a lot of that like authenticity, I think, compared to some of the other shows, because other people are just show friends. Like going back to Summer House for a quick second, I didn't get to talk about the fight between Kyle and Carl that's in the trailer a little bit because Kyle calls Carl a loser in that clip. I had to go back a few times and watch it because I'm like, what really happened to make Kyle's like, Carl, you loser, like go back inside or something. And that's what makes Carl go. And it is true. Like when these guys know each other, they know their biggest insecurities. Carl's biggest insecurity is that people think he's a loser because everyone's been calling him a loser. Lindsay's been calling him a loser.
Sandoval, his biggest insecurity is being told that he's jealous, right? Like, we know these men. We know them well.
Yes. And so if like we know them, imagine the people that are really in their life. So like Austin and Craig they're really like, they're provoking each other. They're going, Craig's being louder and meaner, but Austin, I think, is also provoking and poking a lot. Like he's trying to get a rise out of Craig and he wants him to speak up because I think he wants to fight with him. He's mad at him. He's annoyed with him.
But then he says he feels like he's walking on eggshells, right? Like, so that would be contradictory. I don't know, man.
It is. Because just going back to the literary party, like we saw all night that Craig wasn't even around Austin. Like he was out, he was doing his own thing, and Austin screaming stuff across from him. Well, he was going like Craig's in Sally's hot tub every night and just saying stuff like that. Like who cares?
Not anything. It's just, but it's not.
But it's pokey.
How is that triggering?
Like, tink tink. Because Craig, the problem is that Austin is judging. He's judging Craig's lifestyle. That's the trigger for Craig. He's judging his lifestyle, and the trigger and the opposite.
It's as confusing to me as the Valley Persian style and Tannen and Sky putting the serum on her dog. Because what's the problem?
No, you're right. There's a layer underneath an unspoken layer, and that's why I think we're all having to fill in the blanks for ourselves and like basically speculate about what's really going on.
But it's funny that you mentioned that because if you think about it, with all the other Housewives shows, it's always an unspoken thing that's typically about the show or money and casting and things like that.
Yes.
So maybe there's always a layer, no matter what, that we're unaware of. And we're always doing this dance.
Yeah,
And then
I
they
mean,
look at us, they're like, "How do they interpret us this way?" And I'm like, "Because this is all we're getting."
so true. Like, I just feel like at this point, I don't know how to describe it. I think I don't like look at Craig and I'm like, what a great guy. Like, I want to be with him.
Yeah.
It's not even like a way like that, but I think it's just like he's told us who he is. Like, we know he's a liar. We know he didn't graduate from law school.
Well,
Like,
he
we know
said
all
he's
of
not
these
a
things.
liar. He said that, like, last year on Watch What Happens Live. He's like, "I've never lied on TV," and it's like, how can we be this far in? You
I
know?
think it's delusion. I don't know. For some reason, yeah, it
Oh,
makes me laugh. But I
that's what
just,
we love about Bravo Libs, the Delulu, right? Like, we
yes.
don't that's what you love about Lisa Barlow. Like, that's what it is. It's the Delulu. Because if he knew exactly who he was and he had insight, that wouldn't be funny. Or Brittany Bateman, right? It's the Delulu.
Yes. And it is like, lying, delulu, right? Like interchangeable. And I think that is what the real problem is. I'm just trying to be armchair expert on this, like armchair therapist, that I think really what the problem is that Craig is being called a liar over and over and over. Like everybody on the cast, everybody in America, every Giggly Squad stan is like liar, 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 liar. And then he sees Austin. And even though Austin's not lying and saying things, he's living inauthentically and not being truthful about what he thinks about with his relationship with Audrey, or being truthful totally he's just not. And so he's like, well, how are you going to call me a liar when you're a liar? And that's why it keeps going, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar.
Can I make another point? He's
Yes.
not being honest with Audrey, but he is being honest to the camera, meaning he is telling the entire fucking world.
Does
Meaning
he think
have to tell Audrey. So
yeah.
is he really being that dishonest? I mean, it's shitty for Audrey. We feel bad for Audrey, but it seems like he's trying to figure it out in real time and he's talking to his friends. Thank God he breaks up with Audrey before the end of the summer because, like, can you imagine they're still together and she's watching this? Like, that would be a whole different story.
Mm.
But he is talking about it. But, other layer that we may not know of, Craig has hinted that there have been other things that he and Austin have talked about with regards to Audrey or otherwise. Because he's always saying, like, the stuff you've told me off camera, you know?
Yes,
So
you're
there may
right.
be other things he has said about Audrey that is pissing Craig off.
Yes, that is probably the root of it, is the fact that they're, again, real friends, off the show friends. And they have a lot of conversations late together that are not recorded. And there's no, and then when you decide to bring those onto camera, that's a choice. When you're bringing the private conversations on, and then that's going to cause mess.
Can't take it back.
You cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. So, we saw that explosive fight with them last week. And then we got the mid-season trailer afterwards. And so we kind of do get to see a little bit of an idea of where it goes. It looks like it ends really badly for Craig. It looks like it ends with basically everybody hating him. So we know that he's going to get worse, which is why I'm not really defending him. I just see it from both sides because I'm not somebody who blindly hates Craig, and I know a lot of people do. So, like, I'm able to see, like, okay, he's, a little bit of,
I try to give him grace, and and I kind of judge him a little bit for like still not being over Paige, but it's like,
I mean,
girl,
yeah.
like you take years to get over people. Come on, don't be ridiculous.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
like,
it has been 7 months, and it's embarrassing.
it is. And I don't think he's in that place anymore. Like, thank God. I
Hopefully.
hope that we'll be in a place. Oh my God. I think the fans at this point drag it on longer than he is. Like, I don't think he really is that obsessed with Paige and thinking about it every day like everyone says he
But
is.
in the season where he's like, I would take her back, and it's like, why are you saying that, right? Or the fact that he's still talking to ChatGPT. It was just clear to me that he still wasn't over it
No,
at that
that's
point.
inexcusable to me.
Yeah.
We'll never be able. I mean, that is scary to me. Like, men will literally do anything besides go to real therapy, and they'll talk to their, like, come on. I hate that about him. Like, I cannot defend that at all. But I'm just thinking, like, okay, these guys have been friends for so long. Like, Shep said on the after show, he goes, one of them will be murdered for them to not be friends. They are going to be friends for the rest of their lives. So I think that even though they're going to, I think he has a little maybe insight to that. Maybe he knows, since filming ended, if they've, like I said, that real friendship is in there. Like, on a show where that happens and you're just castmates, you do have a feud and you're not.
The anger is palpable. I don't know.
It's crazy. It's like the most authentic relationship we have sometimes. And that's why I'm like, give the respect a little bit more to I know I can't believe I'm saying this, but sometimes I'm like, duh, of course I am. Give a little more respect to these men on Bravo. Yeah. Because sometimes they're more vulnerable than the housewives. They're more vulnerable than the women. Like, the women are smarter at hiding their shit and being more fake on camera. And guys they're just being total douchebags. And we get to sit here and watch it. I'm like, I freaking love it. I'm not really that worked up about the whole Sally and Austin thing. To me, it's very clear that they are current time boning or something. Do you like this for them?
People have said that they're dating, but, like, didn't she just sleep with Wes, like, a month ago? So I don't think they're dating, but, like, I think they're probably sleeping together. But did you watch that little bit of Charlie, Dylan Efron on Watch What Happens Live, and Sally was in the audience, and Charlie said that she thinks that Sally and Austin are, like, meant to be, and Sally, like, teared up. She was really emotional. So I don't know because, like, I just honestly think that it's just not meant for Austin. I really think he's just meant to be single, which is fine. I'm meant to be single too. I think it gets in his head because of where he lives and because his family keeps pushing it and stuff. But I think he's meant to be single, and so Sally should probably like move on from that because she's going to get hurt, obviously. But I don't think he's. I think he's not meant to be with anybody.
Yes. Okay. You're making me feel sane again. Thank you. Because I thought I was taking crazy pills watching her on Watch What Happens Live, swooning over this guy, mentioning him. They're panning to her. She's like hot flashing for Austin. Like, I'm like, okay, clearly there's something going on with them. But then I just couldn't see past the fact in the episode that they're putting Sally with her family, holding the babies, saying she's going to steal her niece. She wants to have kids, with the juxtaposition of Austin telling his mom that he doesn't really know if being a family person and having kids is for him. And I'm like, and I'm supposed to watch them in real time and be like invested in their relationship. Like, I'm not really just sure where it's going to go.
It's hard to say right now to say like invested in their relationship because right now he's still with Audrey. Like
True.
right now in the season.
True.
But you know, it's funny because with Audrey last year, I was like, oh my God, it was just the right girl. And it did come down to that because he was goo goo gaga over her. No, there's something to be said about like the timeline, which we as women give ourselves, but also the timeline in the South. And I think, as he even said in the last episode, he hits this fork in the road, which is like the metaphorical timeline or whatever, where he's like, okay, I have to shit or get off the pot. And I think if someone said you don't ever have to get married or have kids, or you don't have to think about it for 5 years, he would still be with many of the women he's with, but he hits like a 1 to 2 year timeline and he's like, this isn't fair, so I have to cut it off now. That's the only reason he's cutting these things off. He's not having a good time. It's just
That is so
comes
true.
to the point where it's not fair anymore.
Yep, you're right. It's almost like, yeah, he likes to be in a relationship. Like, we've seen him, I think he, like Craig, likes to be kind of in a partnership and share life with somebody. And he has like that desire.
Not as much, though. I think he likes that independence a lot more than Craig. Craig was a lot more needy. Craig would go get the mail with you if you would let him.
No, that's so true. And I think everybody compared to Shep like looks, like in comparison to like Whitney and Shep, I mean, they're the true and blue. Like, this is what you're going to look like in 5 years, 10 years if you don't. So I think that they're like, okay, am I going to go this route in this cast with these guys, or am I going to go this route? I mean, it's so interesting. I freaking love Southern Charm. Like, to me, that show is built on the guys. I know people are constantly asking for more, but like, I just don't get anything from Molly. I think that she's a great person, but when she comes on screen, I'm not like, oh my God, like, I don't know. I just don't get it.
She's really lovely. Talented in all these things, but it just doesn't fit here. Like, it's great. I'm so happy for you that you can sing and you can do all these cool things. It gave us some things to do last year because we got to go to her like tuba recital or whatever. But like, yeah, it's not. It's just not this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think Sally would be this either, but she has brought the show back to life in terms of the ladies, and that's good because, like you said, the show has always been about the men, but we do need women. Yep. And there's only so young we can go, or the men keep getting older. So I don't know. Sally is giving what we're needing. This is working for me.
I totally
good
agree.
Or bad. She's perfect. She's good for the show.
Yeah, she's perfect for the show. She's kind of like a just girl version of some of the guys, and like I like that. Perfect. She's not as trad wifey. She's kind of like a little more edgy, I guess, for being in Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited for the rest of the trailer. I'm excited to finally see Vanita and Craig have this conversation.
Wait, they're gonna have a conversation?
They finally at the table.
I didn't watch them. I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. Someone sent it to me. I still haven't watched it. I'm crazy. They have a conversation. I'm so excited.
Finally, yeah. So they basically they go to Mexico. It's a lot of the trailer.
That's so
And
weird. Even Nina and Greg to be going to my but all of their cast trips I've always
no,
found
all of them go
weird
together.
because
Yeah.
Madison up until, like, 2 years ago, Madison and Austin going on trips together was weird, like, it made no sense. This is a group of people that would never go on vacation together, just saying it for the record. It's something I say every year with Southern Charm, but please go on.
Yes. No, it's so true. And yeah, last year's cast trip was a hot mess. This one looks like it's very promising again. We have a lot of everyone's gonna come for Craig. So people are gonna be very happy about that. Vanita's clapping at him like, get it all out, get everything out now. And they're going at each other at the table. And it's gonna be so good. Like I just the biggest thing was just that Austin is making out with Sally in the trailer. So it's very clear. And we're getting all the cast's reactions. Madison's like, Audrey's not gonna be very happy. Does seem like they weren't fully
That's how they
broken
make
up.
it look in the trailer, and a lot of people are debating that. So do you think that that was just how it was clipped in the trailer to make it look like he's cheating on Audrey, or do you think the kiss with Sally happened post breakup?
I think that there's no way. And if I end up being wrong about this, I'm going to look at Sally just a little bit differently. But she has a quote, direct quote, where she says, "Are you going to fuck me, Austin?"
Yes, that's right. She does
And
say
I'm
that.
like, if she is indeed saying that while Austin is still completely in a relationship, I don't know. I don't know how
Not
I'm
the
going to
girliest of
feel.
girls.
That's a little prickly. And I just don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but I'm going to reserve my judgment to find out if it's Franken
Right.
editing or if it's going to be the real deal.
It
But so
happens.
freaking good. I know it's 6:15, so I'm already over a little bit. But are you in a hurry? Do you have anywhere to
Let's
be?
do one more topic if that's okay, because
Okay,
then I
I was gonna
gotta
say yes. I just want to talk about Beverly Hills really fast with you. Okay, cool. Yay. Okay, yeah. So Southern Charm's gonna be great. The other show that I is living rent free in my brain right now, and I honestly can't get enough of it, is Real Houses of Beverly Hills. And I don't know if
really?
I'm just I know I'm insane, and I because I'm like I see other people online like falling asleep, so boring, worst season ever. And like I think I've just been like this with every season of Beverly Hills. Like it is one of my favorite franchises. Amanda Francis is clearly all of the buzz. I've seen some of your posts too. I know that you're got a little, you've got your eye on her too. So, what are your overall thoughts of her joining this cast? What's going on?
I think she's a little too young. I think she also don't bring in someone that has zero connection. Just because she bought Kyle's house doesn't make her Kyle's friend in any way. I do not like the one upping. It's not cute. My friend Amber pointed out something that I did not even think of, which I know is so true and so insane with the one upping. In the after show, Amanda is sitting slouched over with her ankles crossed so that you can see the bottom of her shoes. And it's unnatural to see the way that she's sitting, but she's doing it so that you can see the red bottoms. It's insane. Like she literally, it makes the rest of her look like the hunchback of Notre Dame. And it just even the
She's
writing the
flexing.
book, that was so rude to be like, well, I just sat down and wrote it. Okay, well, not everyone's a writer. Who do you think you are? You know what I mean? Like, put some respect on the names of the women in the group. But the one thing I'll give her is, her story with her son Zion is very sad.
Hmm.
I don't think she should have gone to the party that night at Rachel's where everybody was. I understand why she thought maybe it would, clear her mind. And so, that happens, right? And then it was Dorit, though, initially that continued to push the conversation. Once what's her name? What's her name again? Amanda.
Amanda.
Once Amanda said that, this is the anniversary of my son's death, so, like, can we put this aside? And that's when Dorit said, "Sure, we can bring this up another time, but I just don't get why you," right? So I'll give her that, because even though we have Bo saying in the next episode, and I kind of keep going back and forth on this, right? So I don't have like a hard and fast opinion, but Bo said on the next episode, I've also been through something like that. I've also had a child that died, and that's not how you would react. And when I sat and I thought about that, I was like, well, everybody would react differently, right? Because a lot of people are saying that she was weaponizing the death of her child, and Bose used the word specifically that she used it as currency. And maybe she pushed a little hard there at the end, but I don't think overall that anybody would weaponize something so horrific. It was very clear that she was very upset, and we all react differently to trauma. That being said, the one thing that I think she's bringing is everyone together, because there is nothing that brings people together more than their mutual hatred of a certain person. Like, even at work, for example, like, we're not all friends. How do we even know each other, right? Like, we just work together. We wouldn't be friends necessarily in the real world. But if we all hate our boss, then we all have that mutual common ground, and that's what we have in common. And I
You're
just see
so
all the other women coming together talking so much shit about Amanda, and it's what's making everybody like vibe.
It's so good. Like when Erica and Rachel Zoe are sitting there, just the way that they throw their shade is so different than the other housewives. It's so delivered so like precisely that you almost don't know
Honey.
it's shade.
Yeah.
It's Rachel has a gift.
Yes.
Like
And she's fitting in
I
like a glove.
it's insane how
She's
well
always been
she
there.
fits. I forgot, like, I was such a Rachel Zoe stan during the project when it was on, and I really loved her, and I knew she was a star, but, like, I knew that this was gonna be different, and I was like, a little skeptical. You can't just, like, plug and play. Like, I felt like that way with,
Yeah.
like, Jenna Lyons on
Right.
NYC. It was like, okay, like, we just because she's a star and has been on another show that was her own show, just very similar to Rachel's, just following her styling life, I'm like, you can't just put her in a housewife show. And no, Rachel's so good. Like, she is just giving me when she's like, are you okay? Like, isn't there something in your brain that tells you not to say that? Like, when she was roasting Amanda like that, just so effortlessly in her confessional, it really did make me think, like, okay, we're all not liking her.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, they roll out the new after show, and Amanda's not in the latest
Right. You were the
batch.
one that caught that. Yes.
I was freaking out at home. I went back and watched the trailer because I'm like, oh my God, did she quit mid-season? Is she not on the cast trip? But no, she is in the finale cast trip where they're going to Italy. So she does make it through the whole season. So
Do you think
something
maybe she
must
quits the
happen.
after show?
I think something happened after filming. And I have no idea. Like, again, like my bells are going off. I need to know. I will not sleep and rest until I know what happens
Do you think she goes after
because I'm like,
production?
I think so. I think something happens
Don't
where
pull a
there's
Meredith Marks.
potentially a Amanda suing Bravo. I can see something defamous coming out about her. Like I don't think she'll be at the reunion. I'm saying it now.
I believe you.
Because she was with Kyle, and, we
She's
all
such a
know
one-hit
Kyle is the
wonder.
producer. Yes. We all know Kyle's the
Not even a
producer, and we
wonder.
all know Kyle casted her, and, like, we knew that Kyle brought her in. And so to see Kyle on the after show with her, I was like, "Okay, this makes sense." Like, Amanda's not gonna be filming with anybody else. No one else likes her, but Kyle is the glue. She has to film with her. But even Kyle on Watch What Happens Live last week, I think she said something like, or somebody asked, it was something I Watch What Happens Live where they confirmed, like, they were like, oh yeah, during the film timing or during the time of filming, Kyle was close with Amanda, but they're currently not that close. And somebody confirmed that they're not really friends, or they don't seem to be amicable, or I don't know. Something goes down where I think even Kyle is like, I've had enough of this chick. So I don't know. I'm so curious. I have to know.
I also have this theory, and it may not be much right now, but like, because we don't know if we're going to get a lot more between like Amanda and Dorit necessarily, but Kyle was sort of team Dorit on that whole situation, and she was trying to defend Dorit a little bit. And what if Amanda is what brings Dorit and Kyle back together? Because I thought that relationship was dead in the water, but it's possible. All she wanted was someone to stand up for her.
No, you're so right. Maybe in the end, like, I really want to see them come back together. Like,
Yeah,
nature will fully heal if Carl and Lindsay are like, and then we got Dorit and Kyle back. Like, I need this.
he's
Like,
so good. But something
I
big
need
has
this.
to happen for that to happen, you know?
Yes, like I think Kyle is becoming very aware just of the current status. Like even on the after show, she's asked, "Hey, you were seen with Mo over Christmas, and then there was leakings of you guys potentially
Right.
rekindling." And she shuts it right down. She goes, "No, I think I know why," which I think I know why too. I think it's the daughters.
You
I think the
think they've been the
daughters were the
leak?
leak. I think
No.
I know it sounds crazy, but they posted that one picture where they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, our mom and dad eating
No.
popcorn or whatever." I do think Bravo fans are so crazy that now Kyle and Brie, they're back together, and it took
No.
off.
Yeah, maybe, but the daughters wouldn't after what the media did and hounded them for, like, a year during their I don't think that they would go to the media.
No, I don't think that
No.
I think they just posted that picture and the
Yeah,
fans put it in the media. So I think that that's
but
when Kyle's
Kyle
like, "I think I know who
implied
leaked it."
well, yeah, Kyle like, implied that somebody, like, had done it, like, somebody was at the party, had, like,
Yeah,
told
true.
yeah.
Ugh,
I don't
yeah,
know,
she
though.
did kinda say it like that. Okay, yeah, my Bravo investigator lens is
I don't
on.
even know
You've
who's at that
recruited
party.
me. No, you've recruited me now onto your team. Like, I'm watching all of this, like, just to end the last part, I one thing I really enjoyed this week was, like, I love that these shows have been on long enough where we get flash back to these, like,
A
old
decade.
eras.
Yeah.
It just gives me so much life, and, like, them talking about Kyle and Mauricio, possibly rekindling and all this stuff, but then we see her at Amanda's house, and she's breaking down, and I just cannot think about Allison Dubois sitting there.
I
Like, everyone's
know.
been bringing it up. He will never emotionally fulfill you, Kyle. Like, was she not 100% right? Like, she's crying. Mo is
Hate that she
asking her
was
why
right. I
she's
hate it.
crying.
He doesn't understand. He looks so checked out. He just thinks it's about like, oh, the memories, the kids have grown so fast, right? And she literally says something to the effect of, maybe we would have been okay if we wouldn't have left here. And he goes, but that's exactly what she's been saying this
Right
whole
over
time,
the
that
head.
he hasn't really seen her or heard her in so long. And it just shows that he still doesn't, even as a friend. And so she made the right choice.
Yep. I didn't ever have any empathy for her. I'm like so cold hearted. I was like, Kyle, you did this. Like, I was really like not. And then I finally, when she said the words, like, I'm invisible around him. No, I'm a girl. I am a girl's girl. Like, when I actually see a girl hurting, like, now that, again, it's that authenticity. She's been pretending everything's okay. They're best friends.
We haven't
Everything's
seen
going
it.
to
We
be
haven't seen it.
good.
We saw this perfect facade, right? So show us the
Yep.
cracks and then we'll understand. It's like, it's like Kyle and Amanda, we see every whole nook and cranny. So we're not shocked. Todd and Bronwyn, we saw enough to not be shocked, right? So like, it's the ones where you're hiding it from us. It's one where, like, so give us a little bit more and then we won't need to fish so hard.
You're so right.
Tip
That
to the Bravo lips.
per usual, we've solved all the Bravo problems in our session here. Bravo, call us. We know all the things that need to be done. And no, Dana, you're the best. Like, I know anytime you are just in my brain, I'm in yours. Like, we can talk about anything. We can talk for 9 years about this stuff. So thank you for taking the time to come here, talk about all this Bravo stuff with me. And I can't wait till we get to do this again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, so freaking fun.
Yay.
Thank you so much.